Catch up, bruh. You know, when I dressed myself, I was hot, and I'm a little cold.
It's chilly out.
It's not snowing, though.
Yeah, it looks sunny.
Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. Lately, I've been forgetting what day of the week it is. I really woke up thinking it was Wednesday, but I think someone had tweeted and was like, I can't wait until Friday. No, fudge. I should have practiced this. But it was something on the lines of going back to feeling like the difference between Fridays and Mondays.
You like that feeling?
No, I'm okay. I want every day to be exciting. I don't want to have to dread Mondays and only look forward to Fridays. I'm okay with it, but the person that tweeted it made sense because every day is kind of splendid.
Yeah.
But I prefer that because I don't want to hype up, like, let's say it's Monday and I'm waiting for Friday. Well, what happens to all the days in between, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with that. But it was just an interesting tweet, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm sorry I'm not really good at telling stories, but I try sometimes. Hang on, we gotta do the huge. Yep, here we go. All right, so howdy, James, Darren, Natalie, Andrew, Michael, Caleb, John, Travis, Nick. Hi, John. High maintenance. What's high maintenance? You asked high maintenance. High maintenance what? What did I miss? What did I miss? What is up? I don't know. John Doe just asked high maintenance, so I'm confused on what. Unless I said something, it's quite possible. How was your morning?
Prometheus cat waves. Waves.
Hello, everyone. So how was your morning? I brought you a box. I had a lot of boxes to bring.
Yes, I got shocks.
Is that what that was?
In a box. Yep.
Good talk.
Yeah, thanks.
Is that it? Okay.
To Anthony Monaco, he's had some shocks shipped to us.
Sweet. We can go racing? Maybe.
We could. Yes.
Are we like setting the car up so we can't discuss our mornings anymore? Is that what it is?
Oh, this morning I did accounting stuff, like trying
accounting?
to. Yeah, somebody charged us like $2,000 for something we didn't even.
Oh, no way.
Didn't even get. So that's not good. So then make phone calls, figure out how to get that straightened out.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Josh is working on some drive shaft stuff, doing a little sanding, a little painting, etc.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kicking it off with Ralph has a question. What kind of jobs have you guys had over the years? What was your first job? I mean, obviously, I would say probably on the farm.
Yeah, I mean, if we're
mine was in the shop.
Chores around the farm. It's just part of being a farming family.
Yep.
I
think did you at least get paid?
Yeah. I started out. I got a penny a pine cone.
Oh yeah, you and your penny.
And then it went from there, you know.
I feel like I'll be hearing that when we have grandchildren. I used to pick up pine cones for a penny. Like, okay. I've heard that one before.
Okay. Then I worked a little bit on my aunt and uncle's farm.
Mm-hmm.
I was I got to be the guy a kid that saved people out of the Amazing Maze.
Mm-hmm.
So in Macedon, New York, they have a corn maze.
Did you wear a cape?
And you can get lost in there. And
you're Superman?
Yeah. I'd go in and, if you were lost for hours, I could come save you and show you the way out because I knew all the way. I don't know. It was one summer.
I don't know if I would trust you.
I got people
You're
out.
probably a scary kid. You're like, far from.
No.
Far from.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, far from.
And then, let's see, I worked at BA's.
Mm-hmm.
Started out just cutting pipes and then sanding them and then getting ready to weld. And then they did a little welding, did a little painting, stuff like that. I worked at Philtrek Corporation, which many of you probably know Brian Howland. He races sprint cars, or he did for many years. And
I feel like you're covering all the bases in King Ferry.
yeah, I mean, it's local businesses.
Yeah.
But they do lifts, so installed lifts
Mm-hmm.
and serviced shops that had lifts and air compressors and stuff like that. I worked at Finger Lakes Machine, tearing apart engines and cleaning the parts, and did a little bit of machining, but not much there. And then I worked at Ender's Racing Engines and did similar stuff there. Got to where I was running the dyno every day, taking engines on and off the dyno.
This is like the perfect example of however old you are. I should say, if you're young watching this, like, we did all kinds of crazy odd and end jobs to get to where we are.
Yeah. I think during those times, I had a bunch of jobs because I wanted to race and I didn't have enough money to race, and I just did whatever I could do to make money to race.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I cared about. Then it got to where I was I got to where I had rides, and I was like driving for different people on different nights of the week. And it was my full-time job was just going to their shops or keeping track of how they had the car set up and ordering parts for them and trying to get them sponsorships and deals. And that became a full-time job for a while. What about you?
Oh, you just went on.
Sorry,
so long,
I went on forever, but
I was like, do you still want to hear?
I'm 30 years old. There's a lot of stuff that
I know. You should write a book. Write it all down. Like, I feel, because a lot of people ask, especially with my public relations side, I have a lot of younger people like graduating college or going into school, and they're like, where do I start? I'm like, oh my God. I mean, outside of working for my parents, I mean, we had our tire business for God knows how long before I was even around. And then I worked in the shop. But then I want to say it was in high school. My first official job was for Program Dynamics. I actually used to get all the advertisements in the programs for Steve Barrick. And then I'd leave school. Actually, as a senior in high school, I went to the high school for half days, went to college for a class, and then I would leave there, and then I'd go to work for Program Dynamics. So I started there, and I think after that, I was told I needed like an on-the-books job. So I actually worked at a pharmacy, like a mom-and-pop pharmacy. Hated it. No offense, the people were great, but I hated it because I actually had to work Saturdays, and I'd have to catch a ride with Jimmy Stryker. He'd wait for me to leave, and I'd like make it just in time to New Egypt. And that was my aha moment of I don't like working for anyone. Having some hysteresis was the only taste of this is not my cup of tea. So I was there for a while. Oh my gosh, I think then when I went to college, I worked for, oh my gosh, I started dabbling in public relations. I actually went to, did you know I worked at like a clothing store?
Worked at a clothing store?
Mm-hmm.
When?
For a hot, like maybe 4 months.
Where?
In Flemington. It was a really cute boutique, and I loved all the clothes and the jewelry in it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I can do something outside of racing. Also did not like that.
I bet you probably spent more on clothes than you made working at that store.
Have you seen that weird elephant sweater that I own?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came from there.
Okay.
It's like one of those. Yeah, it was a weird stage. So I didn't like that. I did. I started working with like Mike Hafner when Hodnett was in his car. I did start with Action Track USA at Kutztown. I started expanding, started doing stuff with Brett Day at the Short Track Super Series. I feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff, but really just it kind of all snowballed into one another, which led me into where we are now. And now I do Arbonne, and I have my public relations business. I do all these videos. I don't know. I know there's a lot more to it, but I feel like each job I had really. What are you looking at? Someone say something.
Someone asked if your race car driving picture was on the wall of fame behind you.
Mine?
Yeah, yours. I don't see it. No.
I haven't. So I haven't been home. Well, I just put this up a few days ago. So a lot of my stuff's home, hanging in the shop. So no, I don't have that. But
there's a definitely a wall of fame at the shop.
There is. There's
a lot of pictures there if you go to the open house.
July 12th.
Keep plugging that.
Yeah. Actually, Dad's finding more suits and stuff. He's still hanging up his wall. If you haven't seen that yet, I think didn't I share that a few weeks ago? He hung up like all his race suits and whatnot. But anyway, so that's like a short version of. Oh my God, I missed all these comments and questions of how we got to where we are.
So Dirty Fabrication says Filtrex services my shop. They do good work, and I agree. They are very good at servicing lifts. Some of the lifts that I worked on, I couldn't believe that we were able to repair and keep them. And you wouldn't believe how unsafe some of the stuff is that doesn't get serviced. Like if there's automotive shops where people are using the lifts up and down every day, and we go in and service them, they were ugly. They need to be looked at. Nobody looks at them. So like Filtrek comes in and does that for your business and handles it for you, and it's pretty important because it's a big safety thing.
So Ryan asks, M&M, we always hear in racing that having a sponsorship proposal to hand out is really an effective method. How do you guys feel about this? Absolutely. I feel that you need like a portfolio. Even if you're just starting out, if you're looking for sponsorship, I mean, you walk up to someone, where do you even start? But having a proposal, having a portfolio, having something like in hand to give them to really take home with them to read it and see like how can you help them. Yeah. That's the most important thing.
But also, I would say, when I was younger, I always thought it needed to be something super fantastic, professionally done thing. When honestly, I think you just want to be real. If you show people who you are, if you can somehow like put that on paper, somebody's gonna want to be involved with that, or like they'll trust you more by being real and just show them, like talk to them, explain how you got started and what you want to accomplish, and
you want to make that
people
connection.
Believe in that.
You want to be real, honest, make that connection, but you also, this sponsorship, it's all about you getting the money so you can go racing, but it's really all about how you can help that sponsor.
Of course.
It's all about them.
Yeah, it's not about you. Don't tell them about, you have to tell them about you, but you can't make it all about you. You got to make it about what you can do for them. And you need a connection of some sort with them. Can you help them sell their products or something like that? Is the people that watch racing, are they going to be a huge customer base for their business? Does it even make sense?
Find out how many people your home track gets each week. Right, like how many people in the stands? Like how many people are going to see that name on the car driving down the road?
Estimated. Obviously, you're not going to know the exact number,
but it's good to know that.
But I really think you have to have like a friendship and a connection with someone. It's pretty hard to just get somebody excited about it that doesn't even know what racing is or doesn't know you at all.
Cold market is tough.
It is. That's very challenging.
John Doe asks, where was your worst wreck? I think mine was at Grandview. Where was yours?
Well, I flipped Devin Parmenter's go-kart at the lawnmower races, and the roll cage landed on my hand, and my hand blew up like this big. It was ugly.
Really?
Really ugly.
Yeah.
I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to use it anymore. It was really scary.
Your right hand?
Yep.
Terrible.
But because I rolled it to the right and my hand came out. Which is why you need to wear
No,
arm
arm
restraints.
Yep. So Ray asked if we'll have a special guest tomorrow. I haven't gotten to talk to my dad about it, but evidently it did go well yesterday. It did go well for him with the Dirt Vision thing. And that actually is going to be aired Saturday night, I think at like 7 o'clock on Dirt Vision. So it did go well. I can talk to him about it today. If it does happen, I'll definitely let you guys know. I'm not sure if you probably have not even talked to MB about getting your dad on. Doubt it.
No.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
I just...
In the meantime,
as soon as this is over, I just go back to work and I forget all about it.
Yep.
So just another point, Super Dirty 63. Have you ever added up how many miles you've turned on the track and how many getting to the track over the course of an entire season? I've never had time to do that. If you could take that and do it, I would love to see what you come up with. Because I don't know how I would. I don't think so. I couldn't do it.
Someone asked if we could do a 45 minutes, an hour tomorrow so they can get through the weekend. But I was just thinking, what if, as of right now, I don't have anything, like, what if we just hopped on Saturday at the same time?
Good.
You tell us.
Well, you better bring the questions, because if you guys stop asking questions, I wouldn't know what to say.
I know. I'm really surprised. You guys, there hasn't been very many repeats questions. We've been doing this for a few weeks now. I've lost count of what week we're even on. So
there's been a few repeat questions, but we just skip over them because there's plenty of other ones.
Oh yeah, but some good ones we haven't gotten.
What do we got?
Well, let me see. Oh, okay. Wait.
What?
Nick asked, is there a knack to getting in and out of the race car? I see middle-aged, larger people struggling to get in and out of cars.
So many people are like, they go to try to get in them and they go head first. You got to go feet first.
Yeah.
You got to climb up and kind of like get up high enough so where you can slide in with your feet first. And that's all you can do. And it takes a few steps because you got to get over the drive shaft tunnel and whatnot. So
the steering wheel has to be off.
Yeah, definitely don't try it with the steering wheel on. That's
very difficult.
But a lot of people look at you and they're like, "Man, it looks cramped in there." But I mean, like a dirt modified has a lot of room compared to a sprint car or a midget. So
I feel like 10 years ago,
it's pretty comfortable.
I really wish I actually was into taking pictures back then. Maybe I didn't even have cell phone then. I don't know. But when Dad raced New Egypt, he actually made like a hatch in the roof to open, so he just climbs out the top. But then I think people started saying like, it was because he was getting old. So I think he was like, you know what? I'm not old. I can still do it. So
I think that answer your question. Back then, the cell phone cameras weren't that great.
No.
Now they're better than most cameras.
That's why I just use this.
It's such a difference that, I mean, I never used to take pictures. Now I got more pictures in my phone than I can organize. I can't find my old pictures.
Let's see. How is everything going? So far, so good.
So
today was leg day.
How was leg day?
How was leg day? It was great. Mike doesn't like leg day, but I like leg day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like arm day.
He wishes every day were arm day, but do you want me to have big arms?
Sure.
Please. Okay. They're big enough already. Especially in this shirt. I'm looking down. I'm like, whoa. Okay, what did you have?
I don't know. I was just going to read one. Art Workman said, my Facebook page for my car got me 2 sponsors from complete strangers, unsolicited. I think that's a great way to gain a few sponsors that you normally wouldn't get to meet. And yeah, absolutely. If you have a Facebook page that explains what you're doing that somebody could stumble upon, that's fantastic. That's what social media is for.
So Robert says, that there is a live racing show from South Dakota on Saturday, and he's interested to see if it's a preview for racing this season. Robert, comment and tell me exactly what you're talking about. Like, are they racing without fans in the stands? What
I think
is that? Did you hear about this?
I heard about this. It's I think 5,000 to win for 410 sprints. There's a lot of hype about it because must be that state is like one of the only ones you can go race at.
Mhm.
Like you're allowed to race because it's all these restrictions are by the state. So
I think
people are getting ready to head there.
don't judge me, but somewhere out west, I don't think there's a coronavirus case yet. Maybe not as bad.
Oh, really?
My mom this morning, she's like, I think I'm gonna drive out there. I'm like, yeah, you and everyone else.
Just gonna drive out?
Yeah,
just because there's no corona out there?
Yeah. I was like, everyone.
Stay home.
Yeah. Let's see. Mm-mm. All right, Michael. Tony asks, do you prefer to use the throttle to turn the car, or are you a brake guy?
I prefer to turn the car with the throttle. I'd really prefer to use the steering wheel, but dirt cars, you turn the wheel, it doesn't do anything. Like you get to the end of the straightaway, if you're on the throttle and you get to the end of the straightaway, you turn the steering wheel, it doesn't do anything. Like it just goes straight. So unless you have to lift, hit the brake, do something to get the car up on the nose to turn. And I hate having to use the brake, but sometimes you have to if the car is tight. Preferably if you can just kind of play with the throttle until you figure out something that makes it rotate. That's one thing about driving is if you have a consistent race car where you know exactly what you need to do to make it turn,
Mm-hmm.
and on the first lap, you can get a lot of spots on a restart. Sometimes it takes you a couple laps to get in a rhythm. And that's not a bad thing in a feature when you got lots of laps, but like heat races, it's a big advantage to know exactly what that thing's going to do when you get to the first turn.
30th application says, Mike, what is more exciting? Power wheelie out of the cushion with a sprint car, or three-wheeling it in a big buck?
A sprint car pulling a wheelie.
I don't know if it's exciting.
I don't know about exciting. It's exciting. It's a thrill.
Yeah. After the fact.
But it's definitely more intense.
Yeah.
Whereas once you get comfortable with a modified rolling to the right so hard, because like sprint car guys, they're always leaning to the left. Once they get used to it rolling to the right, and then it's not going to tip over, you kind of get comfortable with that situation. You don't. It's less uneasy after a while.
Rob asks, what is the purpose of the squiggly A pillar on modifieds? What's a squiggly A?
So I think what he's referring to is they used to, off the front of the door, they used to go straight up to the roof. And if you look on here, now they go straight back along like along the door.
The doorpost?
Yes, the doorpost where it meets the roof and the front of the door.
That's a squiggly A.
I think he's calling that the A.
I don't know.
But anyway, they used to go straight. Now they go straight along the door and then they curve into the roof.
Oh.
And somebody designed it as an aerodynamic thing because they thought that if you're having them leaned in, then it's not going to direct the air on the rear spoiler as well as if they go straight back and then curve in. I don't know. I can't imagine that little 2-inch doorpost does much of anything other than make it look somewhat like a car.
Oh, honey. I'm so sorry to tell you this.
What?
John Doe tried the peanut butter pandemonium. He said it's too gooey and chewy.
No way. You're wrong.
No. Be nice.
Peanut butter pandemonium is the greatest.
Oh, no. You got to try what's the coconut one that I like? It's like chocolate ice cream with coconut. I don't know, but it's good. It's
not good. The only thing that's good is vanilla with peanut butter and chocolate.
Jeez. Wow, the race in South Dakota is already sold out. Will be streamed, just not what service.
You don't know who's streaming it?
No, it's already sold out though. But.
Well, I hope it's either Dirt Vision or Flow Racing because I got subscriptions to both.
Catching up on the questions here.
Ellie says that we have drivers here in Minnesota converting their cars to different sanctions to race in North Dakota or Iowa. Must be because you can't race in Minnesota. That's interesting. United Extra Time is asking, Mike, how much time are you spending on iRacing during the lockdown? Too much time.
Do you see my face right now?
Way too much time.
Oh my god, you guys, I can't wait until I'm just finishing up the video that's going up tonight. It's going to be great. At least I think it's funny. Again, this is the funny one, so hopefully you guys think it's funny too, because I'm all about that laugh. All about it. Oh, Ron asks, because you're both into racing so much, what are some of the things you guys do as a couple to keep it fresh away from racing? Michael, what do we do?
What do we do as a couple? Well,
the dishes, laundry.
Yeah. Household chores. We make YouTube videos.
Away from racing, though.
What do you mean away from racing? The video we just made was away from racing.
Yeah, but there's racing involved. It has to do with racing.
Oh, okay. We played Connect 4 at Scrabble the other day, so some board games. We get into these series on Netflix together that we don't watch unless we're together.
Mm-hmm.
Like heaven forbid I watch an episode without her.
Oh, I get pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're gonna have to rewatch that. So.
We work out together in the mornings. We go for runs together. We
do a lot together.
We get on the same kind of diets.
Mm-hmm.
Like we eat the same.
We're having smoothies for lunch. New strawberry protein. What else do we do?
I don't know. What else do we do?
Well, we went for hikes. When you're allowed to, we've been hikes. We do strawberry picking. I don't think we've ever done apple picking. We've done like water parks, amusement parks. We go to the beach when we can, which happens once a year. Yep. Right now we're.
Did you mention the vacations?
We go on vacations together.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you do as a couple outside of racing? We don't really. I don't know. That's all I got. Ew, coconut. Ew, right back at you, aquatic sausage.
Here's a good question for Mandee. James Bivinghouse says, "How's your boxer doing?"
He's good. I'm assuming that was off my post. So he's 7, and boxers, their hips and their joints kind of like get old quick, if that's the right word. But yeah, so I posted on Facebook the other day asking people what they suggest because his hips are getting really old and he's struggling to get up, and it's really sad and it sucks. So I finally called the vet and they suggested me some stuff, which a lot of people actually recommended. So that was reassuring knowing, but I didn't want to just go and buy a bunch of random stuff and not know what's going to work for him. So I felt bad because I'm not there. I haven't seen him in like 2 months. So I told Mike this morning I went and bought him a subscription for BarkBox. So at least he laughs at me. At least I know he's getting taken care of. He's got his medicine and he's going to get toys and treats every month. I'm happy.
Believe me when I say this dog is completely spoiled. As if he doesn't have enough toys already.
And we're currently waiting for the squirrel's little picnic table to come in. So stay tuned whenever Amazon. When is that? This supposed to? I thought that was supposed to come today.
So Jordan says that he wants to see my arms because you're showing your guns off, and he wants to know what I'm hiding under this sweatshirt.
Well, Jordan, today was leg day, so he's not pumped up.
Yeah, not.
Tomorrow's arm day.
Not swole enough.
Every morning, I'm like, Mike, guess what day it is? And he's like,
Oh my God.
anything but arm day. I'm like, yep.
Gregory Hess says, what's the longest you had to race without power steering? So I had one Eastern States 200 that I lost power steering on lap 30. And I was really worn out. That picture is right there, I think. The top right one. Let me see. See the top right one right there?
Oh, that was at Middletown.
Yeah. Pretty sure that was right then when we lost the power steering.
It's cold here.
But it's definitely not easy. But it gave me an interesting feel. Like without the power steering, I could really feel the front tires. So as much as it stunk that I had a hard time steering, I could really almost had a better feel of the car.
What about speedsters? Did you race speedsters before that?
Speedsters have they started out with no power steering, which wasn't bad because there was the gear reduction in there, right?
Okay.
But then they went to the electric power steering, and I had a couple times where lost power to the electric power steering. Now that was very hard to steer, and with it going on and back, on and off, you don't know when to expect. Like the wire was wiggling, and you'd have power steering this corner, and then the next one not have it. That was a little uneasy. But then they've gone to a hydraulic power steering now with a pump, and I'm sure you don't have those kind of issues anymore.
Thank you, Bob. That is actually what the vet recommended was Cosequin. And Bill asks, who leads more of a charmed life, Mandee or Speedy?
Speedy.
Yeah. I talked to my mom today. I was like, can you hug Speedy for me? Can you send me pictures of my dog? Can you tell him I love him? I FaceTimed him yesterday. It's sad. Mike, poor Mike. You're just going to be put behind all the animals.
Yep.
He's
okay.
accepting of it, though.
She likes animals more than me. It's fine.
Yeah.
Mike Falcon says, is there a money payout for winning a track championship? I sure hope so. Every track's different. They all put up different ones. I prefer to ask a track what they're going to pay before the season starts. And I would suggest that because I've seen a trend of tracks just deciding when you get to the banquet, I think we'll give them this amount, which I feel is a litlittle unfair. You should commit. You should tell the drivers what they're committing to by coming every week.
Yeah.
And because it's a big effort to go every single week to a track and race for points.
Mm-hmm.
So, which could get you into another subject where they kind of force you to come if you don't come, then you lose your handicap and you have to start in the back.
Mm-hmm. Penalties.
So there's a lot of things they do in that sense.
I wonder how those windows open. I haven't opened them yet.
Back to Mandy's brain jumping around. How about some more questions?
Well, we are at 33 minutes.
Oh, we're done.
Answer one more. But I'll let you answer one more. Don't mind me.
No, go ahead.
No. Do you have anything you'd like to add, Michael?
Let's see. Tony Wolf says, since you like to enter the corner on the throttle as much as possible, I assume you need a looser car. What adjustments help under throttle and what helps under braking? Okay, so yes, I do think you need a looser car to be able to enter on the throttle without touching the brake. But the trick is if you make the car too loose, you go in on the throttle and then you're loose through the center and on exit, and you don't get off the corner that well, even though you get a good entry. That's the whole challenge with balancing a race car out, and one adjustment will help you in this part of the corner and hurt you in that part of the corner. And as far as under the throttle and under braking, so if you think about it, when you're under braking, the car leans forward and anything in the front of the car makes more of a difference. So if you adjust your front shocks or camber, caster, toe, all that stuff is more under off throttle and braking. On throttle, you adjust more of the rear of the car because all the weight transfers to the rear and you're doing more of the work with that part of the car. So that's where you do your adjustments, if that makes any sense.
You lost me when you didn't respond to my window question. I'm just kidding. I listened to it.
Or
I
you can
swear.
or you can just look at the
window.
You can just look at the window and put fuel in the car and
just make a hope, wish, and a prayer.
Hope that you're lucky enough that it turns.
I like that answer. So thank you guys. Let's see. Hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow. And if you'd like us to do lunchtime on Saturday, if we're feeling extra nice, we'll do it. But comment, let us know. And we'll let you know tomorrow for sure if we'll be jumping on live on Saturday. And in the meantime, hope you guys are staying safe, doing well, washing your hands, eating your fruits and veggies. Saturday surprise. Yes, Jordan. So we'll see you then. Bye.
See ya.
No, wait. We'll see you tomorrow. See ya.